on the edge of the world. And good morning, Bill. And we're going to talk about the PPRS, and you're the expert. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Barry, and just not to be rude or anything, but it's Ppsr, Personal Property Security Register.
I knew that, Bill. I just thought it confused me and then confuse you at the same time. It didn't work.
No problem. Okay, it seems that a few people over there are a little bit concerned about the Ppsr, Barry. Is that correct?
Yes, we had Tony come on a few weeks ago, and he started it off how to get into it, which was really good. A lot of people then want to know how to go to the next step, and I'm one of them, because I know very, very little about it. And Tony had to go away. He couldn't do it again. And we need somebody with a little bit of experience, or a lot of experience like you, that can actually explain and take away the fear factor, which seems to be, and there's people spreading rumors that you have to notify everybody, including your dead grandparents, you know, and there's a lot of mystique and a lot of worry. And of course, most people are out buying toilet paper now. They haven't got time to realize that, you know, they've been had again. You know, the fear factor.
No shit.
No shit.
Yeah, Barry, look, I introduced the Ppsr filing back in 2003, and that was after we read the redemption manual. And we realised that the UCC wasn't the right place for us down under to register, as we had our own registration system, which was used to be the Queen's Bench, but they took away the Queen's Bench and replaced that with the Ppsr. So now the Ppsr is like a public notice board, Barry. The old town crier would go through the town, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, and so. Then he would rattle off what public events were happening and that sort of thing. So now, by registering on the Ppsr, if you go to a car company or a finance company and purchase something, and they put it on hire purchase, they put a lien against your title so that they are in a position where they will get paid before anyone else. So the person with the highest standing on the Ppsr will come first in line. Or the old adage, first in time, first in line. So what people have to realize is that there is I'll share this with you, Barry. I'll just share my screen here. Now, is that sharing now there, Barry?
Yes, excellent, Bill.
Okay, now what I want to do, this is, I've been on the Ppsr since 2003, and I've never ever received anything from them until just the other day, when they said that I had a frivolous and vexatious claim. Now, what I'd like to point out here, Barry, is just how you identify. Now, see the part in blue here?
Yes.
Now, the name of the trust is Turner. So if you ever go to court, you'll always see the last name first, and then followed by William Henry. So that's why they call you Mr. Turner when you get into court. Now, the name of the instrument is Certificate of Date of Birth, and the CUSIP number there, the CUSIP major, is that number there. That's the symbol. Currently being traded through Select Money Marketing Portfolio. Inception date 30th of August 1985. And net assets in the fund are 5.3 billion. Okay, so now that's identifying a trust. There is difference between a trust, as you well know, and the living person. So to register your interest, if you have the details of your trust. Now, I sent away to America to get those details. You can get them from traders, but I've had that information for about 3 years now. And okay, so when I identify my trust, I put that there to show them that I do know the difference between the living and the dead. So the living is William Henry, and the trust is Turner William Henry, followed by the number, the birth certificate number. So when the living puts a claim, now over there, you don't have the debtor, although Melissa, and probably good to share some time with Melissa on
Yes.
on
Yes,
your Zoom.
I will contact her. I did actually send her an email recently, and
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a look at, she's found some, because over there you have the grantor, which is the same thing as the debtor, which I have told other people over there. The grantor is the debtor, but Melissa has found that online there. So when you, the living, put a lien over the title, and that's all it is, the title is the trust, then you hold the highest position. Now, I can prove that, Barry, in that my first PPSR filing, as I said, was in 2003. In 2006, I got bankrupted from the Inland Revenue because the first person I took on was the Inland Revenue, which may have, in hindsight, been a little bit much to bite off. But however, they bankrupted me in 2006 and couldn't do a thing because they hadn't realised that I was on the PPSR. So I took that letter to the assignee and showed him my financing statement from the PPSR. And so nothing happened until 2008, when someone was too busy and forgot that his PPSR filing was about to expire and didn't renew it. So when his PPSR filing expired, they came and cleaned me out.
oh, good God, that's
Okay.
typical,
So,
isn't it?
okay, now, so I can tell you that if you're registered on the PPSR, now you don't have to notify everyone, but you must notify the Minister of Commerce. Melissa's got those details there, Barry. So if you want to get her online and get some of those details up, it'll be very helpful. But there's absolutely no fear with being on it. As I say, I've been on it since 2003, and I'm still living. Well, I think I am.
You're there, Bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is this idiotic fear factor. That's got to be eliminated.
Well, yeah, that four-letter word that they use all the time, fear, absolutely puts the fear of into people. But when you grow up here, they become the fearful ones. But the most important thing is to know that if anyone, say the Transport Authority over there, or Vic Roads, comes after you, Barry, you send them a copy of your financing statement, they will immediately go away, because they're not first in time or first in line. Okay, so they can't come and raid your trust if there is a higher claim against the trust. Does that make sense? Or
Yes, yes. Well, basically, what people is doing is taking a lien on their own property for protection. But it's easy to get onto the PPS, but there's a lot of questions which I don't have the answer, and a lot of people have asked me for the answer. What happens when you get on there? You register things, but there's quite a lot of tricky details in there which nobody seems to be able to get past that, or not. Well, anybody that I know that knows how to get past it, and there's a lot of people who watch this now will think, well, we can get onto the site, but what do we actually do when we get down to after registering our name, we putting our password in, and then what happens after that? This is where.
As I say, Barry, there are a lot of people over there doing it now, and Melissa and Warren are probably at the forefront of this, and so you need to connect with them on the Zoom meetings and get the details from them. But people need to do a bit of research for themselves. If they've got fear, then what they're doing is just taking something that you or me or anyone else is giving out and trying to run with it, but they're too afraid because they haven't done the research. But when you do the research, then you have no fear, because you're dealing with a private company, and that private company knows the rules, that if you have the right protocols in place, they cannot touch you, because all they're trying to do is attach you to that trust, or getting you to step up as trustee for that trust. Now, as I say, it cost me about 350 American dollars to get that information on my trust. I know that that trust is trading and there's 5 billion in there. Okay, so people say there is no trust, there is no magic account in your name. I have it in blue and white. Not black.
Oh, people here, live on hearsay. They have, when it comes to reality, and they're too lazy to research it anyway. So I wouldn't worry about the negative comments.
Yeah, no, well, that trust does exist, Barry, and I certainly have that information to prove where it's trading. So there's no problem.
It would be nice if you could get a slice of that cake, Bill. I believe some people have done it. I don't know whether they have or not, but you think it's not a good idea to collapse that trust?
There are people over here using that trust, Barry.
Yeah, it's good. I have to learn the secrets, but there again, knowing my luck, if I got all that money, I'd probably end up crook and die. I'd rather have the health. It's more important. All right.
Yeah. Look, you know, hopefully, if you guys start to work together as a team, the more that you share, the more that will be given to you. That's how the universe works, Barry.
Yeah, I'll try and get Melissa onto PPS, or sorry, on Zoom here, and then perhaps we can share the documents, and that'd probably be a good idea. I think she'd probably agree to that.
Yep.
I'll say that Bill said, Melissa, if you're watching this now, Bill says you've got to come on here. We've got to share these documents.
Well, she's already registered on the Ppsr, and a lot of the people in Queensland are already on the Ppsr, Barry. So, I mean, it's just a matter of sharing and sharing freely. You know, the problem I have is that these ones who are scared, Barry, the ones that are scared are the ones that want everything given to them for nothing. They want you to do everything for them, and then they still live in fear, you know, and I have a problem with that, in that they won't go out and help others, and that's why they won't progress. It's the people who are going out, you know, people like Melissa and the others over there, Warren and the group up in Queensland, that are helping others. They are moving forward rapidly.
I know, it's sad, it's fear. I mean, this COVID-19 or coronavirus is a good example. I mean, the media tell everybody that they need lots of toilet paper, and it's just gone crazy. I mean, do you know what? People, when they realize that we're dealing with corporations, nothing more than private corporations, and we're answering to them, and we shouldn't have to, and we don't have to. So we're more important than they are. So turn the tables on them and tell them where to go, politely or impolitely, whatever you like. But we have to change. This fear factor it was religion one time, heaven and hell, and now it's toilet paper or get a virus.
Indeed. And, you know, I think the only thing you need to worry about a virus is you must have Norton or McAfee on your computer.
Okay, Bill. Well, perhaps that will do for now, and because you must be sick and tired of talking about the Ppsr. Is that correct, Bill?
That's right, yeah.
You must be sick of it by now. So, well, thank you for coming on again. I will contact Melissa today and see can we get her to share some of the documents that you did the other day. And those people who don't understand what I'm just saying, well, Bill's been talking about this for about 2 hours with Melissa, and obviously I have to. I'm sorry for rewinding poor Bill to get him to come on here this morning. It's Saturday morning, and we should both be out and probably shopping or something. All right, Bill.
Well, thank you, Barry. And yeah, as I say, I've told Melissa, you could probably help her edit. There's certain bits that.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank Bill for coming on Saturday morning and explaining the best he can. He's given us a few leads to get involved with Melissa. So thanks for coming on, Bill. It's at short notice, and I'll talk to you again soon. I promise not to bother you too much on the Ppsr.
Thank you, Barry. Anytime.
Okay.
All right, now you.